6,800 taxicabs operate along the streets of Chicago. They're an alternative mode of transport for residents and visitors in need of quick and easy service. Ensuring these vehicles are safe, reliable, and available to the public is the charge of the city's Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection.
There are three major players in the City of Chicago taxicab medallion market. The first and the primary player is actually the license holder of the taxicab medallion license. Basically, the cab driver leases the medallion and the vehicle from the medallion owner. So when you get into a taxi cab, the cab driver, in most cases, it's not the medallion owner. You just can't walk into a City of Chicago licensing facility and say, I'd like to buy a medallion. If you do want to buy or operate a taxi cab in the City of Chicago, you have to buy the medallion from an existing owner. And then the third player is the taxicab affiliation. The affiliation is an association of a group of taxicab medallion license holders. Affiliations range from being hundreds in number of taxicabs to under 50. An affiliation basically supports the taxicab medallion license holder, letting the medallion holder buy into a group rate insurance policy. It includes a dispatch system and facilitate credit card processing.
Because taxicab drivers have the public's safety in their hands, and because they're in a sense unofficial ambassadors for Chicago, all drivers are required to obtain a public chauffeur's license before they get behind the wheel.
The City of Chicago offers approved courses through the City Colleges of Chicago. The courses cover rules and regulations and laws that govern public chauffeur conduct in the City of Chicago. In addition, they cover geography and also professionalism.
At the end of the course, the candidates take a driver's exam, which is administered by Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. Those who pass will then go through a physical and eye exam, drug and criminal background check, and have their driving record examined.
The department's interest is to have 100% of cab drivers safe and courteous at all times.
To ensure vehicles are in tip-top shape, cars are required to go through a semi-annual inspection at BACP's facility on the south side.
We inspect 80 to 90 taxi cabs per day, which comes out to about 18 to 20,000 vehicles per year. Our main goal is to make sure that all vehicles that carry passengers are safe for the public to ride in. For taxi cabs, we do a visual inspection, a brake inspection, a mechanical inspection, and a meter inspection. On the visual inspection, we ensure that the brake lights are working properly. We ensure there are no check engine lights or any dashboard lights lit up. We make sure that the seats are properly secure inside the vehicle. Make sure all the glass is clean and no obstructions are there, because it's not just about the passengers being safe, we also want the drivers to be safe as well. On the brake inspection, we make sure that the brakes are working properly, that it stops in case of accident or something like that. We do mechanical inspection, make sure there's no excessive fluid leaks. We make sure that the front end suspension is proper. We make sure there are no cracks in the frame. All the mechanical components of the vehicle, we check to make sure they're working and functioning properly. The last inspection that we do is the meter inspection. We do that to make sure that the meter is calculating properly. If it's fast, which would entail be cheating the customer, we remove the car out of service. If the meter is slow, we inform the driver that the meter is slow so they can be repaired properly. It's all to make sure that it's a fair checks and balances.
The public chauffeur rules and regulations spell out the do's and don'ts of being a taxi cab driver in the City of Chicago. The don'ts include don't use profane language, don't use abusive behavior, don't use a cell phone while operating the taxi cab, and don't refuse transportation to an individual based on their destination or their race or ethnic origin. The do's include do be courteous to passengers and prospective passengers at all times, do take and process credit card or debit card transactions, and do take your passenger safely and directly to the destination that they have requested. Passengers sitting in the back seat of a Chicago taxi cab have all the information they need regarding that ride. There is a taxi cab fare placard posted in the cab that itemizes the fare, but also gives all the information a passenger needs to know about their expectations of the ride.
If you've lost an item in the cab, knowing the vehicle number and its affiliation is the best way to try and retrieve it when you call 311.
Call 311 or go to the City of Chicago website to file a compliment or a complaint about your experience in a City of Chicago taxi cab. We need this input. This department does license and regulates the taxi cab industry, but the public are our eyes and ears out there.